Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Backlog Filter. So, May's here, and honestly, it might be the best month of 2026 so far for PS5 players. We've got a little bit of something for everyone: a Bond game, a Batman is Lego Born game, a brutal sci fi horror, a cozy farming sim, and a few hidden gems you probably haven't heard of yet. I'm going to walk you through some of the most exciting releases this month. And for each one, I'm going to tell you which type of player it's built for, so you can figure out if it belongs in your library. Let's get into it. So first, we have Mixtape. Mixtape is a narrative adventure from Annapurna Interactive, the same publisher behind Stray and What Remains of Edith Finch, and it follows three friends on a final night together before everything changes. It's strange in nostalgia, set to a killer soundtrack, and inspired by coming of age films from the 80s and 90s. Think a playable John Hughes movie. If you ever had a friendship that felt like it could fill an entire album, this one will hit close to home. This game is for you if you like Life is Strange, Oxenfree, What Remains of Edith Finch, or anyone who wants a story that makes them feel something. If you're a horror fan, mark May 12th in red. Directive 8020 is the latest entry in a supermassive games dark pictures anthology, and this time they're sending you to space. It's heavily inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing, meaning paranoia, distrust, and the terrifying question of who you can actually rely on. There's a trust system built into the gameplay, so the choices you make about your crewmates will matter. Every decision can be the difference between survival and a very bad ending. Multiple endings, branching storylines, and knowing Supermassive, you should expect to feel deeply betrayed by at least one person in your team. This game is for you if you like Until Dawn, The Quarry, Men of Medan, or anyone who likes sci fi horror and the paranoia of not knowing who to trust. This one is for the mech fans. Starbites is a turn based mech combat RPG, and if you've been starving for a good mech game on console, this one could be exactly what you've been waiting for. Players battle in customized mechs, choosing between standard attacks and special skills in combat. Outside of battle, you can configure and upgrade your mech to match your playstyle. This one might be a bit more niche, but for the right player, it's going to be a gem. This game is for you if you like Into the Breach, Armored Core 4, Front Mission, or anyone who loves tactical mech combat and tinkering with builds. Alrighty, guys, this is a big one. This might be the game that I'm most excited to actually play this month. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, it's not just the biggest Lego Batman game ever, it might genuinely be the biggest Batman game, period. The open world Gotham in this thing is larger than anything in the Arkham series. You can glide around the city, drive the Batmobile, use gadgets, and take on side missions, solve Riddler puzzles, and it's a huge game. The coolest part is that it doesn't just adapt one version of Batman. It pulls from everything: the comics, the Dark Knight films, the animated series, all of it. So for any Batman fan, it's basically a love letter to the whole character. There's a full campaign plus loads of side content. This is the game you're going to be in for a while. This game is for you if you like Batman, Arkham Asylum, City, or Night. Also great if you like Lego Marvel superheroes or want something with more depth and a bigger world. This one came out on PC a while back and kind of slipped through the cracks, but it's finally hitting PS5 and I think it deserves more attention than it got. Wandering Sword is a Chinese martial arts RPG and it uses that HD 2D art style that Octopath Traveler made popular. You play as a swordsman who barely survives getting killed and then spends the rest of the game on a journey to become a true master of martial arts. The game has a pretty classic story. Think honor, revenge, duels, that whole world. And the combat is turn based, so it rewards you for thinking rather than just reacting. Really solid RPG if you're into that style. This game is for you if you like Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy, classic Final Fantasy, or if you love turn based RPGs with a strong visual style and a good story. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is a farming life sim similar to Stardew Valley. You've got your land, your crops, your animals, all of that. But the thing that makes this one stand out is the bazaar. You take your goods to a rotating market and try to get the best deal you can. And getting those prices right is genuinely satisfying. There are also rare materials to track down, so it's not just a passive chill game. There's a bit of a grind to it in the best way. This game is for you if you like Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, or cozy games in general.
Good job.
And here's the one you've been waiting for. 007 First Light is probably the most anticipated game of the month, and maybe one of the most anticipated games of the year. It's a James Bond origin story. You're playing James Bond at 26 before he even has his 00 status. He's untested, he's raw, and the whole game is about him proving himself for the first time. It's made by IO Interactive, the team behind the Hitman trilogy, so you know the stealth design, it's going to be sharp. It's more linear than Hitman, more set pieces, more action, but the core of it is still that mix of stealth and improvisation that IO does better than anyone else. Disguises, gadgets, big action moments, a cinematic story. This is the Bond game people have been waiting for years. This game is for you if you like Hitman, Splinter Cell, or any fan of stealth action games. And obviously, if you're a Bond fan at all, this is a no brainer. Alrighty, guys, so that's May 2026 on PS5. Generally a great month. There's something for basically every type of player, whether you want action, horror, a big open world, or just something chill to play at night. Personally, I'm going straight for 007 First Light and Lego Batman. Both of those feel like they could end up being Game of the Year conversations. But don't sleep on Mixtape. Annapurna doesn't really miss. Let me know in the comments which one you're most hyped for and if this helped you figure out what to play this month. A like goes a long way. Guys, thank you for watching. This is the Backlog Filter.